boys and girls, it's Mrs. Lekowitz again. I am here to do an activity for our Sunday school lesson this week. And our lesson, as you've already heard from the Bible script, is from Genesis when Abraham was asked to sacrifice his son Isaac, and how they went into the woods and he built an altar and he started to sacrifice his son Isaac, and God came in and stopped him and gave him blessings. So we are going to talk about how hard that was for Abraham to do, to be asked to sacrifice his son. And I'm sure it would be hard for you to make some decisions in your life, but sometimes we just have to trust God and believe in Him and to understand that there's another purpose for it. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, some silly questions in a way. I want you to think about your family, and I want you to think about what your decisions might be. So the first one is, it's a what would you rather. So I'm going to ask you, the first one is, would your family rather go to a movie or bowling? What do you think? Movie or bowling? That might be split. I think we might go to a movie, our family. Would your family rather take a trip to the beach or the mountains? What do you think? I'm thinking we could go either way. I think our family would be split on that, but everyone would be happy either way. Would your family rather go out to eat or cook a meal at home? I personally would rather cook a meal at home. I don't know about my family. I think they might rather go out. So would your family rather have a dog or a cat? What if you had to make that decision? We have both, so we don't have to make that decision right now. Would your family rather go somewhere on an airplane or a train? I've been on an airplane, but I kind of like the scenery of a train. And the last one I would ask is, would your family rather go on a hike or play a board game? We like playing board games, so I think we'd probably say board games. So my question is, are any of these questions that I asked you difficult for you to answer? They might be, they might not be. But for Abraham, when God asked him to take his son to be sacrificed, he had a choice. He could have said no, but he said yes. And he said yes because he was faithful. So I'm going to show you this little Bible verse through a fun activity. And it's a little silly, so bear with me. I'm going to have my two daughters help me out by holding this up. So here we go. All right, so we have the mountains in the background. And guess who we have coming in? We have Isaac and Abraham. Hi. So Isaac says that he's going to take Abraham out for the sacrifice. So they go walking and walking and walking and walking and walking and walking and walking. And I believe it was for 3 days. Oh, and they also had their servant. And their servant was there to help. So they're all walking. And then Abraham looks at the servant and says, "Stay here. We'll be back for you. I'm going to take the boy over here." And so the servant stays. And Abraham, yes, please. And Abraham goes over here and he puts together and he makes an altar. So he has his altar and he comes back and he gets his son Isaac, and he takes Isaac over and he gets ready to sacrifice, and he stands over him with a knife, and then he's getting ready to sacrifice him, and then there's an angel and it says, "Abraham, Abraham," and he says, "Here I am." And he says, "Do not hurt that boy. You have proven yourself. Your faithfulness is very true, and God is going to bless you." And God says to him, "I will bless you with many, many descendants, as many as there are stars in the sky or grains in the sand." And they hugged each other and they got down on their knees thanking God. and they went back home to have many, many family members from then on. So that's our little skit for today's Bible verse, which is Abraham sacrifices Isaac, but in the end, he really doesn't. God provides for him. So always remember that you might have tough decisions, and sometimes they're very difficult to make, but always trust God, and it will always work out. Have a wonderful day.